So what are you looking to achieve by?
Now, here are my issues. I mean, here's what I'm having problems with. Here are the things that I want to address. And I know that some of them, they're interrelated, and probably some are more important than others, whatever the case may be. But basically, I'm losing muscle tissue. One, I need to get that back because I can feel my inability to balance, you know, and I need to get back to my Pilates, which is, I think, a very good. But I still need the muscle tissue. So I need to move this fat because, you know, that's the men fat thing. I need to move it, you know, to places where it should be. Okay?
Well, it's gone from here down to here.
That's right.
That's what most men say. Yeah.
Well, yes, it's gone from here down here. It's
Right,
gone from everywhere.
Everywhere.
down. In any case, I want to do that. I do have issues of depression, and they're cyclical. I mean, like from day to day, they change, you know, and it really does slow me down. It gets in my way. It does really makes me not very enthusiastic about life, and I'm just generally not that kind of way, you know, not that kind of person. I have arthritis, and I want to do whatever I can to mitigate that because that's a really important thing. And as I said earlier, my parents are 94 years old. I'm 67, so it's going to go, you know, it could go really bad here. Yeah. And I want to do whatever I can to prevent that. And besides the fact that I generally have pain, you know, somewhere in my body, not excruciating, not terrible, and I have a really decently high pain threshold, which is can be a good thing or a bad thing. But in any case, I really want to do something about that.
Yeah, the
and
aches
then my
and the
memory
pains can be
thing.
hormonal. A lot of people don't realize aches and pains can be hormonal. A lot of people are very surprised that when they get on the hormones, their aches and pains go away.
Well, and some of the medication I'm taking
could be contributing.
Could cause that too.
That's true.
So those are really those are really important parts of what I want to do. Now, I certainly wouldn't mind if my libido were a little bit better, and my partner wouldn't either. But in any case, you know, that's another part of me.
Energy?
And my energy level is really crappy, you know. And again, I think it's what I actually see before me is this, as I described to you earlier, a way in which you and I in a partnership can create a way in which I can build my enthusiasm for myself and a program to be able to reinforce my behavior one after another because I can move
When you touch on one subject, so Larry's 67. So some men you start suffering the symptoms of andropause earlier, in your 40s. So he's done nothing with balancing his hormones for probably 20 years of going through a hormone decline. So does he still able to receive all the benefits of hormone balancing, of being in balance at a later age in going through andropause?
Absolutely. I mean, I really think that people at any age can benefit from hormone balancing. And it's not just hormone balancing, it's also hormone repletion. You know, it's getting their hormone levels back up to a decent level. And I think anybody really responds to that. You know, it's with guys especially, it's a gradual decline. So it's 1 to 2% per year their testosterone goes down. So, you know, Larry's has probably gone down, like you said, a lot more than maybe somebody who's in their 40s. But, you know, actually that's not even so true. What I see clinically, guys who are younger, who are under a lot of stress, the stress chews through their testosterone very quickly. So I will frequently see guys in their 40s who have levels that are similar to guys in their 60s.
Wow.
So, you know, I don't really think age has that much to do with it. I think the
environment
age is,
and everything else.
Environment and
lifestyle,
you know, how you
what
live,
you eat.
exactly what you eat, how you exercise, the stress of your job, the stress of your family life, how much you sleep. There's just so much that's involved that I think the age is just one little part of it. So I think really, you know, I look at it more, like I always tell people I don't classify menopause versus perimenopause and this and that, because to me it's not important what your class is, and I think of age as another one of those things. It's important to me what your hormone levels are and what your symptoms are. So that's why I say this has to be so individualized. You know, you look at each patient for what they're presenting with and what their hormone levels are and what I need to do from there. Now, granted, there's a lot of similarity between a lot of different patients, like what Larry just discussed. it's classic andropause symptoms. It's fatigue, especially, I've reviewed some of Larry's paperwork, so it's fatigue, especially toward late afternoon. That's very hormonal. It's that depression, grumpiness, irritability. That movie Grumpy Old Men, where does that come from? That's because they're testosterone
I'm not
deficient.
buying a ticket to see it.
Essentially, though, they're testosterone deficient.
Right.
That's what it is. It affects your mood. And, you know, there's interesting subtle things like that. You had checked off on your form. A lot of guys mention a loss in even their ability to make decisions, their confidence level.
Right.
There's
for sure.
a lot of, you know, for lack of a better word, swagger. You know, you lose their edge, their swagger. You know, think about guys when they're young and full of testosterone, they're aggressive, they make decisions quickly, you know, and you guys feel that as it goes away.
Yeah, right.
I see that a lot, that guys as they get older, they start to say, you know, I'm more wishy-washy, I can't make decisions as well anymore, I don't feel as good about myself as I used to, and some of that is just literally hormonal and chemical.
Right.
You know, and then memory, we talked about memory, that's a huge hormone issue. But then, you know, I think the even scarier part is the things that most people don't realize. You know, these things, if somebody is up a little bit on andropause, they might know about some of the things that we just mentioned and things that you know for yourself. But what about the heart disease protection that testosterone gives us? The blood sugar balancing that testosterone gives us. When I put guys on testosterone, oxygenation, oxygen blood flow around the heart.
Low breather, and it's worse now than it's ever been before.
When you you started to say about heart disease.
Oh, that's okay. No, actually, cholesterol, it's amazing. When I put guys on testosterone, their cholesterol almost always improves, and I can get them off cholesterol medication. So that's something I'm hoping
Triglycerides
for.
for me too, which is also related, isn't it?
Well, that's related to blood sugar.
Exactly.
Because triglycerides are basically just sugar in your blood.
That's right. It didn't. Yeah.
And so the testosterone helps
consumed.
balance the
Right.
sugar. So what the beauty of this is that it works for all of the symptoms that a person has. So it's not giving them one medication to treat one symptom and another medication to treat another symptom.
Exactly.
It's looking at it that all of these things, all of these problems, including the mood, the loss of muscle, et cetera, and the cholesterol and the blood sugar and the heart disease risk and everything are all related to really one big thing that we can fix. That's the bottom line.
It's amazing. It's